So I want to build a system that converts my long form YouTube videos like this one into LinkedIn content, talking about what was discussed in the video, and also tagging the video along so that people can go in and watch the video. So because I don't usually have time to go in and post, create post myself on LinkedIn. So the only thing I want to do is always go into my database, copy the post, and publish it, go through it, of course. And if I'm okay with it, I copy it and publish it on my on my LinkedIn. So that's what I want. We are just going to build a system together in this video. So what I'm going to use to build it is Make. So if you're going to follow along, just sign up on Make, and you're going to see this dashboard. So you can create scenario here. So the first thing that we want is a YouTube. So we want you to watch for videos in YouTube, right? So what we're going to do is watch videos in a channel. So whenever a new video is published, it runs with it. So my channel is already established here, as you can see this, but if yours isn't, just click on add here, and then you do sign in here, and you'll be able to sign in with Google, right? You'll be able to sign in with your account and then move along. So the thing that I want to do here is find my account. So I can do me here, and then I do ID finder, and then this is my handle. So I do okay, and it should, yeah, it picks that up for me. So I don't actually want to do a publish before, because I really don't care. I've not really done like content around the videos that I post on this channel. So I wanted to just do content around all of them for me. So I really don't mind. So I set my limit for this test to 1, but when I'm done, I can take it a little higher, because in a day I usually post like maybe 3 videos, 1 main video, and then the other ones can be short. So I don't want it to be running only 1 time. So I want it to go in and run like 3 times, or return 3 or 4 things, and then one of them would be the long form video that it's going to be working with. So I'm just going to save this, and then make it to run from all, and then I save. Always remember to save this. So let me run this 1 time and see what I'm going to get. Yeah, so you see it returns this for me. It returns the title, and no description. This is obviously a short, and the other things like that. But then the problem now is going to be, for me, is going to be, how do I know the video that is a short or a long form video? Because from what I can see here, what I can see from what has returned to me, I don't have any short form. I don't like, there's really no way to know, because I don't know, there's really no way to know. So the one thing that I've thought about is, I just did a Google search. The one thing that I know I can do is use YouTube API. So the YouTube API is going to always return the duration of the video. If you're scraping the video through the YouTube API, it's going to allow you to find the duration of that video from that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to add, and I'm going to do HTTP. So it's HTTP that I'm going to use to scrape my YouTube. So I'm going to make a request here. So I want to do an API request. So my key here is going to be, I have YouTube API here. So for me to be able to get this YouTube API, what I did was go to my console. Where is it? What is it called? Google console, actually. So yeah, this one. So if you come into your Google console like so, you can create a project from here. You can create a new project here, and in this and once you enter into the project like so, you will go into your enable. You will come here and go into your enable APIs, and that's where you get to where I am now. So you go to your API library and search for YouTube API, and you pick the first one. And mine is already enabled, but if yours isn't, you're going to see enable here, and once you click on that enable, it's going to be enabled. So now that your API is enabled, what you want to do is go back to your credentials, and then you just simply click on credentials, and then you want to create an API key. So you can create an API key just like I have this one. This is one I created that I use. So I create that API key, and you come back here, and then you click on add here, and then you provide your API keys here. And once you provide your API keys, then you will have this API connection that I currently have here. So once you have that, the next thing that we want to do is create the URL that's going to go in and get our YouTube API for us, and get scrape the API for us. What I did was go in and ask ChatGPT to give me the URL to scrape my YouTube using the YouTube API. So it did give me this. So that's what it gave to me. So he said that equal to will be like the video, using the video ID. So the equal to will put the video ID at every time, which is this one here. So this is what it gave me. So it's going to be, of course, a get request, because I'm getting, scraping that data. So yeah, this is okay. So it said I should leave it as it is, and then I save this and I save this. So if I run this once, let's see. Okay, so it has done that. So it returned the data for me. So it has returned all these items for me. Yeah, so it has returned content details, and you see it has returned, it has added duration here. So this is now 17 minutes and 5 seconds. Right? Am I correct? What am I looking at? Yeah. So this is a longer video. Yeah, this is a longer video, so it's 17 minutes 55 seconds. So you see, I now have a duration that I can work with. So normally all of my shorts are always between 1 minute to 2 minutes max. My shorts are not always longer than 2 minutes. So now I know that any video that is above 2 minutes is actually my long form video. So I only want it to continue running if the video, that the duration of the video is more than, let's just say 3 minutes in this case, just to be safe. Let's just say 3 minutes. So any video that is, the duration is more than 3 minutes, is going to be working with that. So I'll go ahead and add another module that is going to go in and add, create a URL for me, because one thing I didn't notice was that the when I was looking at how to build this, when I was looking at the semantics, I noticed that, before you can run an API, you need to have your video in a particular format, like the watch URL. So your video has to be a URL, not an ID. And if you can see from what we have here, it only returns the video ID. So I need to turn that video ID into a URL to be able to run the way I want. So the next thing I want to run is a set variable module that is going to turn the ID into a URL for me, so I can use it to run in the next module. So what I'm going to do is you do variable here. So I'm going to do tools here, and I'm going to do set variable. So what I'm going to do is video URL. I'm going to call it video URL. And then I'm going to say, so this is the normal, if you're sending someone a video to watch, this is always like the URL that you get, then it's equals to the video ID. So I want it to always attach this to all the video IDs that it gets. So I'm going to add the video ID here. So every time a video ID comes, it's going to attach the youtube.com watch $V, and then so that way it can turn the ID into a URL. So we save that. The next thing that I want to do that I did forget to do was set the duration. So I'm going to set the duration here, and I'm going to label it. I'm going to set the duration here by adding a filter. So if you click on this place, you add your filter. So I'm going to do duration. I'm going to call it duration. And because this date, if you can see from, where is it? Sorry, it's from data, page info. It's from items here, and you can see content. So you see that this is how it presents the duration. So what I did do was ask ChatGPT how I can determine what, like, with a time like this. I think he called it the ISO duration. I can't remember now. I've closed that dashboard. So I asked ChatGPT, how do I turn this duration like this? How do I use a duration like this to determine when a video is longer than 3 minutes, so I can use that to run in my scenario? So it did give me a pattern that I copied. So here is the pattern. I just copied it and put it here. This is the pattern it gave me. So you see that this work that we are doing, I'm building it for the first time, and also I'm using AI to also be able to if I run into any hurdles. That's why I always say that automation, anybody can build automation. You really don't have to be a guru. You just, anytime you run into hurdles, just ask AI. It will give you what you need. So this is the pattern it asked. It told me to make it match the pattern. So yeah, so we are going to look for match pattern. So you are doing matches pattern. So what you're looking for is this duration here. So if it matches this pattern, so what it means is that the video is longer than 3 minutes. So it's going to run with it. So I'm going to save this now, and then I save this. So now that I have that running, the next thing I want to do, because I now have the video URL, I want to go in and scrape the video, so that I can get the SRT file, that's the subtitle of the video, because it's from that subtitle that I'm going to use that subtitle to create content for my social media, right? I'm going to feed in the subtitles into AI and ask AI to generate content using that subtitle for me. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a module here. So the module is going to be an HTTP request that is going to run the API, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do HTTP here. I'm going to make another request. So it's going to be an API request. So for this one, it's going to be this one. going to be an Apify request. So if I think I built an Apify system in my previous video. If you know what, you can go check out on how you can sign up on Apify and get, and also be able to run your actors like here. So to get your Apify, one thing that I didn't mention was to get your Apify token. That's your Apify API. That's Apify token. So you're just going to come to settings here, go to APIs here, and then you're going to see your API token here, and you just do copy from here, and you'll be able to copy it. So we come back in here, my own credentials has already been added. So what you're going to do is go into the system that you want to run as your scraper. So in my case, I want to use this one. This is the one I want to use. So if you want to use any other one, of course you can do that. Once you get here, right, you would go to these APIs here, and then you go to API endpoints. So what you want to do is run synchronously and get data set item. So you want it to run and wait until it's done with the execution, then it will now return the data set items for you. So I'm going to copy the link to do that, and I'm going to come to my setup, and I'm going to do this. So I'm going to paste that. So with this, it's going to run and fetch. So with this, it's going to run and finish the execution and fetch the data set. So my method is going to be get, and then my query parameter. I'm going to leave it as it is, but my body type here, I'm going to do JSON. So it's going to open my body type input for me. I'm going to do JSON string. So I want to put in the JSON here. So what I would do is go back into my actor, and all the fields that I want to add, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick it up from here. If you click on this question mark, you're going to be able to see the JSON field name for each of them, so that you can write that down here. So always remember to put like braces around your JSON field so that it can get what you want. I'm just going to go ahead and type all the font. So always open your JSON, and then close your JSON, and then every other thing let me just keep it organized by bringing it here. So what I actually want is the URL. So I want to be able to go in and start this. So I don't actually want search term, because I'm not going to be searching it with term. I'm going to be searching it by the URL. So I will need start URL. Yes, so this is what I need. So I will come here and paste my URL. Yes, so I'm going to do column, and then the URL is going to come from this previous data that we have here, which is this. And so the next thing that I need is, I also wanted to download transcripts for me. So I can say download transcript here, and then I do true. So I wanted to download the transcript for me. So the next thing that I also want to find here, if you can see, is going to be for it to default type. So my preferred auto-generated. So I want the subtitle format here. So I'm going to do subtitle format. I want it to give me the SRT. So what I'm going to do is do here, and then I'll now come in here. I'll do SRT. One thing I'm forgetting to do is adding, my closeout and my brackets. Is my braces up here and my comma. You have to always add your comma, else it's not going to work. So with every one of them, you must add your comma. And of course this open and braces, right? That's what they're called. So the next thing I want you to do is going to be the subtitle language, which this one, I want the subtitle language, I want it to be in English as well. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do EN. Yeah, so right, yeah, so now EN is for English. Yeah, so I think I'm done with that. So yeah. So I have added everything there, and I can just go ahead and save this, and then I save this. So the next thing I want you to do, I want you to only move ahead if there is a subtitle. If there's no subtitle, you should stop working, because it's not going to have any data to deliver to my AI. So I'm going to add the AI module here, of course. So I want you to generate the content for me in this case. So my connection is already established, but if yours isn't, just click on add here and provide your API key from your billings page. If you don't know how to get that, just go to this link here, you'll be able to get that. So my own model here is going to be, I think I'll do 4 point something. Yeah. So I have gone ahead to ask ChatGPT to give me a good prompt that I can use to turn my transcript into post for my LinkedIn. So it did give me this prompt here, which of course you can pause to read, to go through. But if you ask ChatGPT, it will always give you prompts, so you can work with that. And the row here, I'm going to present my own, transcript here. So I'm going to do transcript, and then I'm going to provide what came out of here, because one of the things it should return from here, if it did run, is supposed to be I'm thinking it's supposed to be the SRT, but let's run it again and see if we're going to get that. So I will save this, and then I will run this. So let's see if I get something. Okay, so that one was not a long form video. It's not that. So okay, so this one is. So now there is a bad request here. What is the problem? Must be an array. Okay, so I just see what I forgot. So I asked ChatGPT what the problem is. So I didn't add, the URL. So I didn't type in the URL correctly. That's why it threw up the error. So what I'm supposed to have is open braces. So this bracket braces, and then also the open one. And then I'm supposed to have like a URL column, the URL again. Of course, I have to put the braces in here. And then I go ahead and do column. So I'll now close this with this and this, right? Yeah, so this is what I'm supposed to have. This is what I'm supposed to have, just so it can pick up the video URL itself. And so I save this, and then I save this. So let's try to run it again. Oh, what did I do again? What am I missing? Okay, so what they are saying now is that download subtitle must be a boolean. So what that means is that I don't have to put it in braces. Putting in braces means it is a word, it's not a boolean. Because if it's a boolean, right? If it's a boolean, you do not have to put it in braces. So we remove these braces from here, and then we save it, and then we save it again. So let's just run it again. Yay, it's running! Yay! Okay, so it should have returned our SRT for us. Let us keep our fingers crossed. So if we come here, we see subtitles. Yeah, we have our SRT. So it has returned our subtitles for us. So now we can go back into our AI, connect it back. And then in our transcript here, we can click this, and we are going to see why has it not updated for me. So I have to delete this and put it back, because it definitely did not pick that update. So we go to OpenAI again, and we generate a completion. Where is it now? Yeah, generate a completion. We choose our module. We do, and then the message. We do developer, and then we add another message from the user. And yeah, we have this now. So if you come down, you're going to see subtitles, and you will see SRT here, which is the SRT itself. So you can do transcripts. So one thing I did also say is that you should also return the, also ask them to go and watch the full video. So I'm also going to include the video URL in this point. So I'll do this here. So I'll go ahead and copy paste the prompt that ChatGPT gave me. So yeah, now I have that, and I can just go ahead and save this and save this. So now the next thing I want to do is add my, the content that it was created into my database. In this case, I'm going to use a table. So I'll just do a table. And then I create a record. And then I do this. But I don't think I'm going to enjoy. I don't think that, this now. So I need to do another connection. Yeah, so I can see this that I created. And then I can do content, and then the title here, although this doesn't. Okay, so I come in here, and then I put the LinkedIn post. That's going to be the result that I get from here. And then the title here can come from the video title itself that I am trying to, make content out of. And then I save this, and then I save this. and voila, you're done. So now every time I post content, every time I post a long form video in my YouTube, it's going to automatically run here and grab, the YouTube, the video, get the transcript from the video, and scrape the video to get the transcript, and then use every AI to create the best content for me. And yeah, so this is what it is looking like finally. So I decided to go back in and create different kinds of content, different variations of content, just so I can always have like different variations, so I can choose my best winning. So I use different kinds of writers, like the problem attitude solve, the IRL, the SIR. Like I use different kinds of writers, so you can just browse what this means and you will be able to get it. And I use different kinds of writers here to find what I would like, so that way you can always update and create different content for me. So I can always go in and find the best winning one and go ahead and post those ones. So this is what it's looking like now. So what I did set it to is to always run every day in the morning. So it will run every day in the morning and find one long form video, create different kind of content, and then I can go in and review the different kind of content and pick the winning one and post to my LinkedIn. So that way it will drastically reduce my LinkedIn brainstorming and posting time. I really hope that maybe you would love this and set this up for yourself, because I'm about to activate this right now and say goodbye to so much time in my content. So that wraps it up for the end of our video today. If you like something like this, make sure you stick around here, because I'm going to be posting more beginner friendly automations like this that you can build for yourself. And also, if you want a custom setup for your business, feel free to reach out to me in my LinkedIn. If you have any questions around this, any connection that you did not get right or something, just let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I'm going to see you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Bye bye.